What is up, true believers? Welcome to this Spider-Man Homecoming movie video review. So I have been super hyped for this movie, and I have waited so long for a Spider-Man movie done in the MCU. But we got it, people. We got what we wanted, and Tom Holland is, I'm afraid, the real deal. He is better than Tobey Maguire. He is better than Andrew Garfield. He is the greatest Spider-Man, in my opinion. I'm sure a lot of you, Tobey Maguire is your guy, but I think that Tom Holland just gets it. It's because maybe that he's really young himself. I mean, he is super young, and of course he really does get that vibe of being a teenager, someone who's amazed at being in the world of the MCU, and also being the character of Spider-Man. He's just amazed at being a superhero, it seems, which is what Spider-Man really is. He is a dude who just absolutely loves being a hero, wants to be a hero, and that is the vibe I got from this film. It is absolutely stunning. The entire tone is just completely correct. The entire film is correct. It fits absolutely everything. It feels like its own movie, but it's set in the MCU. It feels like a proper Spider-Man movie, which is what we wanted. Now, obviously, people like Tobey Maguire, they fit that role. They were good in their role. Andrew Garfield, fantastic in his role. However, Tom Holland here, his Spider-Man just melts. I don't know if it's the script writing, if it's the people behind the movie, but everything here just seems to work, which is, you know what, a real relief. Because I was a bit worried about this movie, the fact that obviously Iron Man is in absolutely every single bit of merchandising. He's everywhere, the trailers, but that's probably just Marvel trying to get their own way and try and sell this movie as, you know, the MCU. But I have to tell you, from someone, if you follow me on Twitter, you would be really, like me, you would be worried that we're going to get too much Iron Man, if this is going to be the Iron Man show, if this is Iron Man 4. But it's not. This film is not Iron Man 4. It very much is a mentoring. So the role of Uncle Ben is somewhat taken by, of course, Tony Stark. And it's really funny, the interaction that Aunt May has as well. So it's a lot of change here. They're taking a lot of liberal things with the origins. They've got Marissa Tomei, who is a hot Aunt May. We've got Tony Stark playing that mentor role, which he does really well. You've got the typical Tony Stark charm, but he also he sees something in Spider-Man, in Peter Parker, who it's been confirmed that he was the kid who had the Iron Man mask and held it up to the kind of robot. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but the other robots which went rogue, of course, the Hammer drones there, of course, in Iron Man 2. So that's really neat as well. But the whole film, just what the Vulture with Michael Keaton, he is amazing. He is the best MCU villain, in my opinion, by far. He's not funny, he's not cracking jokes, he's sinister. We have a fantastic moment when we have the actual character of, you know, Michael Keaton's character, Vulture, and you see the green on his face. It's very similar to the Goblin or the Hobgoblin or whatever you want to call him in Spider-Man as well, when you had, of course, Willem Dafoe playing that role and we saw him slowly become that character. It's just a nice little callback, but the Vulture is superb. We get two shockers, which eventually gives us the proper shocker as well. So there is that, and then, of course, we've got the Scorpion creeping up as well, and a fantastic reference, obviously, to the Prowler and Miles Morales in the movie. But that is just a stunning episode, or not episode, but part of the MCU. It fits in well. It sets us up as well for the Spidey part of this universe. I know we've got the Defenders, but this is very much our ground level Avenger, even if he's not properly part of the Avengers. He is the kind of man on the street, and the movie just feels organic. It just feels like a proper part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think. Personally, now, the people surrounding Tom Holland in the movie, now they are great. Ned, the kid who plays Ned Leeds, is amazing. He's superb. He's funny, he's got great comedic timing, and he's a very subdued kind of guy. He's a bit slow in the way of his delivery. Fantastic. We've also got as well the love of his life, Tom Holland, Peter Parker's love of his life, Liz, who's great in this role, who is not someone who I expected to be a great part of the movie, but was good. Flash, on the other hand, very funny, very, very funny, but he didn't seem like he was much of a bully. He just seemed like more of a nuisance, to be honest. But we've also got as well the teacher, who is fantastic. And we've got a Captain America reference as well there, which was really, really funny. But we're going to move into some spoilers, so if you don't want any spoilers, we're going to move into the spoiler part. But here we go. So the movie, wow, I can't believe that we actually get so much insight into the MCU. We get the Triskelion references, we've got references to Captain America, obviously we get references to the incident, which is the battle in New York, isn't it, really? But you know what, I think it's really, really cool that we get all these proper fantastic references, and this is probably like the most reference heavy of the previous films, I think, of everything else. I think this references quite a lot, to be honest. I mean, we get obviously Crossbones Gauntlet, we get of course as well the Dark Elves weapons, just loads of stuff, and Damage Control. Oh my god, Damage Control, the comic book obviously, which was set up for a similar thing as well. And to me, the guy who got punched by Vulture looked like the press secretary from House of Cards, but it might be just because I've watched a lot of House of Cards recently. But it's really cool there as well. We've got Donald Glover, the uncle of course, you guessed it, Miles Morales. Madness. I did kind of hint at that as well. Before we got the name mentioned, we got the kind of suction cup things, which I reckon I kind of saw him trying to get that as well. I thought he would take those and become the Prowler, of course, as well. Pretty cool there. Really, really cool, of course. Got the Iron Spider outfit at the end. Similar look, sort of Iron Spider, I would say. I think that's the biggest reference to it that we're going to get, because really that was the outfit that during Civil War, that is what Tony Stark gave to Peter Parker as well. So that was really, really neat there as well. Lots and lots and lots of references. So much to mention. I'll probably do a separate video on all the references and the Easter eggs in this movie as well, because there really is just too much to actually mention. Now, as a whole, the movie was really stunning. I really think it did fit in with the tone of the MCU, which is like comedic, sort of serious, has huge action set pieces. And that huge action set piece at the end, now that worked. That really, really did work. I thought that was awesome. We got to see the new updated Avengers section. I'd like to see where the Avengers Tower goes. Who's going to buy the Avengers Tower? I think that's going to be pretty neat, how that's going to work out. But what I thought was really nice in this movie was how we start directly after the Battle of New York, which sets up absolutely everything in this movie. Now, of course, the post-credit scenes were something which I was personally disappointed with. Now, we actually get a bit with the Scorpion. We see the Scorpion early on in the movie. The Scorpion is, of course, a fantastic Spider-Man villain. Now, that is who we got in the movie. We can see his kind of plates there. I expect we'll probably see him bust out of prison and have his team, which will probably be... I expect we'll see some form of the Sinister Six. We know we're getting Scorpion in the Silver Sable movie as well, which is going to be interesting to say the least. So that's going to be there. We've got the Captain America bit at the end, which I hated. I know it was self-referential. I know they're referencing everyone waiting for these post-credit scenes, but I hated that. I was like, well, thank you. Thanks for taking the piss out of me, because I wanted to see something sick. I wanted to see some, like, proper, maybe Venom turn up. I don't know why I expected Venom. He probably wasn't going to turn up at all, and it didn't, because that would make sense, because he's not technically in the MCU, but whatever. So the rest of the movie was awesome. I loved the suit. I was in the trailers, we saw him talk to the suit and stuff. I was like, I don't know how that's going to go down, but it did actually go down really well. So we got, seemingly, I expect that AI to be Friday, who became the female version AI. Later on, obviously, Jarvis is, Vision. So Tony Stark has a female version. Interesting as well, we've got Pepper Potts at the end. What was that about? Because obviously at the start of Civil War, it was like, oh, where is she? they kind of split up. And of course, Happy Hogan had that ring since 2008. So nice little self-reference how old this thing has been going on for, how long the MCU has been going on, which is an institution. But as a whole, I think that this was stunning. A fantastic movie, fits absolutely everything. Felt like a self-contained movie, which was really, really cool. But we know it's set in this world as Happy Hogan. I mean, Happy Hogan, Jon Favreau being amazing in this again, showing that really all he cares about is Tony Stark, and anyone else be damned. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Drop a like, subscribe so you never miss a video. I want to know what you think. Do you think that this was a great addition to the movie? Did it fit? Did everything go well? I think it did. I think it went really well. I think maybe the middle part, when it kind of dipped a bit in the middle, but every film kind of really does actually dip in the middle, doesn't it, to be honest? That's what I think. But everything worked here. Now, I was hoping for some Defenders references, but we know that's not going to happen. We know that's not going to happen. Real shame, because they're in the same city. Would have been cool. Maybe there was one I didn't spot. Let me know. But that is it. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.